most awesome Sims 2 fans, welcome to the channel. I'm Tipsy Mommy Shark. Today, we are renovating the McGreggor Farm, first introduced in the Sims 2 Seasons expansion pack. I'm going to show you how I moved this lot from its neighborhood of Riverblossom Hills and plopped it into my Strangetown. Stay tuned to the end to see why this lot is unavailable for download and everything I've done to its original owner. This farm has gone from crops to consequences quickly, so let's get started. Today, we are going to talk about the renovation, my inspiration for this lot, how I moved it into Strangetown, and around the halfway point, who in their right mind would buy and run this as a business. I mean, other than me, of course. For more Sims 2 content, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps with the algorithm, and clearly I need supervision. One of the first things I felt we needed to do was get inside the entire house and add some dingy wallpaper and paint. Then I began working on our little shop. This is going to be a place for tourists to buy souvenirs and trinkets, the very few that are still visiting my Strangetown, the brave, the confused, the conspiracy theorists, the ones who absolutely don't believe the government. Apparently, they're saying there was no alien crash. The military, they're just here for decoration. I then added a door into the kitchen, something we can lock. Families and employees only. Not every part of this farm is needed for a Yelp review. The story behind my Strangetown is this. Years ago, the government came in after the lab was built, promising jobs, money, a future. After years of broken promises, my town is broke. The crash site is locked down and most of the tourists have stopped coming. The town is falling apart. I have been building this out for our next generation who inherited this mess, which is why everything needs to look a little neglected, not abandoned, just not worth fixing. My daughter and I came up with the idea of the old bovine farm. We loved using the word bovine, aka cows, and turning that into the deadly cow plant farm. This feels so very Strangetown. At this point, I had been renovating the entire town, so I didn't want to fully build and decorate a farm from scratch. I mean, I was thinking I have my limits. So instead, I made what I felt was an executive, reasonable decision, and in hindsight, maybe not so much. I took the McGreggor Farm from Riverblossom Hills and dropped it into my house bin. I did this by packaging the lot, something you can do right from your own game, and then reinstalling it using the Sims 2 Pack Clean installer. I know the lengths I'll go to just to avoid a bit of decorating, but just like that, it was in Strangetown, McGreggor, his farm, snow and all. I was doing this all off camera, of course, until Grim showed up, and then I thought, I should probably be filming this. I had added the weathered exterior paint and some of the desert trees while that farmer was still alive. I guess I wanted him to fit in, which feels ironic now. I wish he had reminded me to film all that, but you know, things got busy. I spent an inordinate amount of time struggling with the front sign, figuring out how to make it work. First impressions matter even here. I did all this before putting the lot up for sale because this is going to be an owned business lot. Nothing says a thriving local economy like opening a retail shop in a government-controlled ghost town. I had chosen Nervous Subject to own this lot. He is, after all, one of Strangetown's more iconic Sims, and he had inherited a generous amount of guilt money when his serial killer mummy died. This feels like a solid investment. Nervous was raised across town by the Beakers. He did not have a normal childhood, and some say he never really got over what happened to him. This farm might not be helping. He purchased the old property and reopened the shop for the rare tourist who still wanders into my Strangetown. I did have to wait for Nervous to officially purchase the lot before I could start on my favorite part, the barn. And of course, we're adding those cow plants, fully grown ones, each with their own stall, along with a little scientific equipment for ambience. This part did take a little longer because it turns out cow plants are significantly larger than one would imagine. I struggled only minimally with this renovation. crazy things like cowplant stalls and fencing kept me busy for hours. It turns out building for carnivorous plants requires a little more planning than one might expect. I do find it's easier to build when you have a clear vision or you know the family you're building for. In my case, I know the family quite well. We go way back. Nervous is currently living in a shack on the road to nowhere. Originally it was just him, then he got an old dog. He then added new to Curious. She is one of Pascal alien twin daughters. You know, those aliens that definitely don't exist according to the government. At some point, Nervous decided he did not want to grow old without being married. Believe it or not, this is an actual want in The Sims 2, which is a thing now. The two of them have grown close. They got married. Some call it love. I say Stockholm. They also adopted one of the children that the local government was asking the town to take in. You know, from the military personnel who went missing. Totally unrelated, I'm sure. From the outside, they look like a perfectly normal family, as long as you're not peeking behind the barn door. One of the last things I did to this build was cut the orchard in half. I moved the trees back by the farmer's grave. I think he might have liked it, and after all, he can't complain. I added a fenced entry. This is a Sims 4:2 conversion. I loved it because the ivy glows at night, though very strange. Once I saw that, I needed more ivy, because if you're going to commit to a look, you commit. After that, I placed another Sims 4:2 conversion, a sales stall out front, just to sell the idea of a tourist roadside stand. It's purely decorative. I keep adding to this build every time I play, so you may notice some changes in the screenshots along the way. This lot is not available for download at this time. I'm not entirely sure what corruption risks are involved when a sim has already lived and died on this lot, and I'm not trying to bring your game down along with me. Some interesting Sims 2 facts that I didn't know until I was recording this playthrough. When you resurrect a sim into a zombie, accidentally of course, they lose all of their skills, but not their badges. When I decided to resurrect the farmer and make him a zombie, Nervous did, we originally thought he could become a townie and wander aimlessly through Strangetown. But with farming badges, well, now he's been adopted and he's a member of our little family. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of our farm. Do you think old farmer McGreggor likes the change? Any ideas what I should add next to Strangetown? If you're enjoying the build and our story, please take a moment to like and subscribe. And I have a feeling Farmer McGreggor may get a chance to share his thoughts eventually. Thank you for watching. Happy simming and bye-bye.